Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is SlyXP, captions on this video were provided by Liara. And it's a good thing tennis has arrived on the Hermitcraft server because I had to tear myself away from watching Wimbledon to work on this recap, so at least B-dubs made that changeover slightly easier. At least the All England Tennis Club doesn't have to deal with happy ghasts flying overhead constantly, unlike the majority of the Hermitcraft server. But now most players' videos have caught up to 121.6, we've seen a lot of the hermits saddling up the friendliest ghosts they know and taking to the skies. Expect another revolution in about 3 months when we assume the Copper Golem will be ready for launch, but it remains to be seen whether anyone on the server cares enough about the Lava Chicken music disc or whether a painting of a tamed wolf is required for the art gallery. To be fair, with the mods the server is using, they could just import both anyway. So instead of dwelling on that, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Azuma Void, who has provided the players with happy ghasts for the whole server, in droves. As Jevin confirms in his video, the biblically accurate ghast cloud is still a thing very much happening over the lakes of Hermitcraft, meaning that most of the 3 stacks of happy ghasts Azuma has spawned in the last week are alive and well.
Just wait till Scar gets on, guys. These things are not going to live very long.
650 odd dry ghasts. Yes, I had to go around and kill these very happy creatures.
But just in case the server mates need even more for whatever reason, Azuma puts together a ghast station. Like a gas station, but very haunted. The mechanism here is a single water source built in a way where it ejects the ghastling as soon as it rehydrates and stops being a block. But the other mechanism is a ghast queuing up system, where the finished and adult ghasts are waiting in line to get picked up by the passerby should they need one. Just click the note block and depart with your new and exciting blimp. Very gradually, because these things are not fast.
And you can also walk through the middle of them. Once again, this feels kind of strange.
An honorary mention goes out to the other ghast-based contraption Azuma has invented, an elevator that only works when you're not standing on it.
Very cool, but sadly, it's not going to be a player elevator.
Now, Jevin doesn't bring back a souvenir tofu cube from the Grand Lake haunting, and he might regret it. The happy ghasts are actually pretty nice for building from, and Jevin is hitting the tower part of his castle era. Stubby but pointy, Jevin builds up these medieval turrets seemingly on every corner of his castle keep, which is a big step for him given how focused on the interior he's been. It's good to see him thinking outside the box. Though his Schematica overlay reveals he already has a castle wall planned for around the stronghold, so these will all be indoor towers soon enough.
And I wanted to build this episode, but there's not enough time in the day, especially with everything else that I've got going on. So I recently got into a car accident. You know, your boys got really bad luck. It happens a lot.
An alternative use of the ghast has been discovered by Rendog when he tries an invisibility potion on one and makes it look like there's 3 hats riding a 4th giant hat, as he demonstrates to Cubfan135, who takes the bit further by removing the hat too, so it's just 3 of the players standing on nothing.
Do you happen to have shears on you, Ren? Oh! Let's go! Oh my gosh. This is incredible.
The standing on clouds mechanic, while not helpful in an elevator, opens the possibility for a new minigame, one of jumping, parkour, and luck. It's Gasketball. Basketball, but ghasts are also there. Presumably the players will have to leap onto the animals to really get to the goal, but actual gameplay remains to be seen, not because of the invisibility potions, but because Cub hasn't built it yet. Right now the minigame consists of 1 wall announcing the minigame and half a wall explaining the minigame, which is fair enough. Without all 4 in the ceiling, the gasket will just fly out and will only have ball left. And they said he would never be ballin'.
And yeah, we need more time to complete this project because it's a massive project, but I'm happy with the progress that we made today.
Cub's fascination with Minecraftifying sports has caused some collateral damage, because after Pearlescent Moon is done beautifying some more of the terrain around her base, she returns later to find that her base is now golf. Again.
Am I gonna play golf on my base? Cub, my base is not a golf course.
That doesn't stop her getting out the clubs and attempting her best shot, because we know Pearl is a minigame master, something she and Tango have been proving once again as they team up to feed the diners at Hungry Hermits.
Are you kidding me? Are they still going? Unstoppable. They're still going. They just beat day 8, dude. First time ever.
She's also mastered the game of tag, which is what leads to her finally handing the tag over to Scar and explaining what he's gotten himself into. In exchange, Scar shows her the zombie enclosure, which is something Pearl probably doesn't want to get into, despite how cool the scenery is. And the scenery is only getting cooler, until that volcano blows, that is. Scar's been putting a lot of time into the planning of the exhibits for whatever animals feel more comfortable in a desert, and whatever feel more comfortable opposite a volcano. Sorry, it just feels poignant that there's a volcano, put there to house a nether mob pen, but now populated by a single happy ghast named Marshmallow.
And he is a delightful little creature. Look at him. Aww.
The bridged lake gets more inhabitants though. There's even a guardian someone gave Scar for his birthday. It's in a tree, and it's not Scar's birthday yet either, but it's the thought that counts. Good thing the squid exhibit hasn't been built yet.
Look at him. He's been saved by us. Look at that. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Don't die, my bud. Don't die. Okay, hold on. I'm a great zookeeper. I'm going to save his life.
You know what has been built and will plunge you into inky blackness? Skizzleman's pyramid base, which Rendog is one of many people to sign up for, although first he needs False Symmetry to behead him. Although perhaps not that many times. Okay, you can stop now, False.
No, not a second. Doesn't need two, False. I only need one.
Well, you might want another one.
After all, the man has no problem dispatching himself, as we discover as he goes to play a round of Enderpearl Golf and golfs himself off the building a few times. Although credit for at least one of those goes to the Endermite for some reason. Maybe just take the man's clubs away. He's a hazard to himself.
This is not going very well, is it?
No wonder he's a little jumpy when the server updates and he gets scared by a ghast drifting through his base. But maybe this shouldn't have been such a surprise when he helped to plant them. Either way, now he has a blimp he can use both to observe the scootball field and airlift some armadillos onto the pitch when he needs new equipment. As for Skizzleman, he decorates a billboard at Joel's base, which both reminds us he has a banner shop, and when under pressure, he has no idea what a giraffe looks like.
Is that a little bit better? They got those purple glasses on now.
At least this week proves he didn't need to advertise the pyramid base now being open to contestants, because several players have already signed up by sacrificing their heads to the hierarchy of needs. Since it's getting a bit more foot traffic, Skiz builds more custom palm trees and tidies up the area around his base, only for it to become incredibly untidy again when all the happy ghasts show up. At least he has a bunch of balloons he can take for a walk.
I want to give him the gemstone, but I don't know where to go. I can't see anything.
By this time, Cubfan has already run the gauntlet and completed the pyramid, and we get a look at the artfully arranged set of banners Skiz delivers to celebrate Cub's self-actualization. Happy Ghasts have drifted in the direction of Joe Hills' Homedale project too, and at first Joe has concerns that their slow flight speed won't exactly elevate his builds. In the meantime, he has bigger problems, like cleaning up all the pufferfish remaining from his time being pranked every which way by the Permit Office enforcers.
Yeah, that one's... Yeah, you better run. You know I'm coming for you.
Fortunately, he's on better terms with them now, so he's happy to give Scar a tour of his upcoming museum exhibits, including an armor stand model of the James Webb Space Telescope, which is basically a kaiju if you leave the armor stands visible. Joe truly begins to harness the power of the Ghast when he uses it to decorate the ceiling of his storage room and reach the topmost chests without needing to scaffold up to them. But they prove themselves most useful for transporting Joe's huge collections of librarian villagers to safety inside the complex, as he sets up a library for them to occupy more permanently. Leashing the boats together, Joe airlifts a village's worth of book traders in through the roof, which is pretty successful the first time, but works even better with Impulse and Pearl on the ground, preventing the villagers from coming in like a wrecking ball.
Like, that is such an easy way to relocate an entire village of villagers.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a game changer.
Pretty in that one.
The Happy Ghast swarm has not quite reached XP Crafted's ocean base, so he's one of the few hermits who gets to re-inflate his own Ghastling. The speed of the fully grown beast doesn't impress him much, but at least he gets to ride side saddle while Keralis drifts it into town.
I'm just cruising with my Amish grandparents. There's no engine.
All this slow going had to be made up for somehow, so XB activates super fast build mode and time-lapses some lush cave terrain to help his Season 9 train car feel right at home. But before that, he swings by BOO's new tennis courts to introduce him to the server's other gladiatorial sport, the Trident PvP Arena. Although we're pretty sure his ulterior motive was to sell yet another of Keralis' builds, this time to B-dubs if he felt like joining the Navy. Keralis wastes no time and builds another awesome base to get evicted from. With his Arctic expedition ship lodged firmly into XP Crafted's side, he would actually like to stick around, but the only waters available for building nearby turn out to all be occupied by Guardian temples, which, if the mining fatigue is not a problem, still spawns Guardians within their bounding boxes.
So I was like, okay, I can't do it over here because there are zappy things. So yeah, it's gonna be zap, 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 and also that little backdrop over here. Yeah, don't like that.
This forces Keralis out to the crisp snow of the frozen plains, where he breaks ground on the Arctic research base. which may or may not be a giant concrete L. The atmosphere may be way below zero, but the vibes are immaculate, despite Keralis simply refusing to put any translucent orange accessories onto his snow vehicles to recreate the early 2000s LEGO theme. He may, however, employ the brightly coloured airlock doors from Rendog's base. Anyway, nice Arctic research station you've got there, but here's the thing. And finally there's BOO, for whom the thing is tennis.
Oh my goodness! What? Okay, that was awesome.
Despite all the happy ghasts now flocking around the spawn area, B-Dubs' angry ghast-powered tennis game is going from strength to strength. There's now a control room with additional redstone and some custom voice clips to announce when either side scores. But it wouldn't be complete without a clubhouse, so B-Dubs builds an entrance befitting a pompous game steeped in tradition. It's a great translation of tennis to the blockiest of games, but to be honest, all of this seems like an excuse to wear short shorts.
Do more things. Do more games with hermits and stuff like that. I think it's going to be very valuable.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is SlyXP and my name is PixelRiffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.